Cloud. Awesome. Well, welcome. My name is Joe Aquaviva. I'm the head swimming coach at Franklin Marshall College. Lauren, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm the assistant swim coach at FNM.
Awesome. Last year, we actually had our strength coach on as well. We do have a full-time strength coach, Mike. His wife is 39 weeks pregnant, so she's due any day now. So we didn't extend the offer this year, but he's a big part of our training and what we do. They're in there 2 times a week with him, and he writes a third day as well. But if you have any questions specific to Mike, if you want to send them my way, I'm happy to. I think he'll be out for a few weeks, but I'm happy to get you the answers if I know them, and if not, pass it along to him. But we're really excited, and he timed that out really well. Our kids graduated last week, so our programming for tonight, we only had a couple questions for the coaches, so we were going to answer those, and then we were going to leave the bulk of the time to talk to our student athletes. As I tell many of you, like, you see us 2 or 3 hours a day. We're a huge resource. We're a big part of your college career and helping you improve. But most of your time is actually spent with your team members. So, as much as you can like Coach Lauren and I, you're going to spend more time with your team members. So, figured leave more chunk of time to talk to them. And I've already talked to a lot of you as I look through the names. So, but I guess we'll start with just a little bit of our backgrounds, and then we'll hit the 2 questions that we have. So this is both our second years at FNM. I swam Division III, right down the road, Johns Hopkins, Baltimore. 4-year swimmer, captain. When I was in grad school, I also coached there, as well with a club team. And then I spent 2 years doing high school and club swimming. I really enjoyed it. I knew ultimately it's not what I wanted in my coaching career, so I went back to the college side. I spent 5 years at Tufts University up in Medford, the Boston area, and then this is my second year here. It's been really good. I can say it's been a coming home. I'm from right outside of Philadelphia originally, so it's a quick 55-hour drive. It's not too bad. We did it last weekend. We're going to do it this weekend again. We have a wedding. But it's not that bad. So that's one of the things we love about Lancaster, is that it's very easy to get to a lot of different places. So that's been really nice. But Coach Lauren, you want to tell a little bit about your background?
Sure. So I'm actually from Lancaster, Pennsylvania, so I know the area really well. It's grown a lot since I was growing up, which is nice. I coached, I suppose, for about 6 or 7 years in Pennsylvania, in Lancaster County and in Bucks County. And then I moved to California, in the Los Angeles area for 7 years, and I coached for 4 years there. And then I moved back to Lancaster, and FNM is my first college coaching job. So yeah, just still finding new things all the time, but I think that's pretty much any job, but I really like it. It's a great program.
Awesome. Thank you. Like I mentioned, we do have a full-time strength coach. He works with the larger segment of our teams. We do a full-time aquatics director as well. Joe Stebnowski is, if you've ever been to a meet in our pool, he's the guy who's running around making everything work and makes our lives really easy. He checks all the equipment. He makes sure all that's set so we can focus on just coaching, which is pretty great and an awesome resource to have. If you've never been to our pool, I'm not at our pool, but the picture is right behind me. This is what it looks like when it's in short course yards, which we're in short course yards the large majority of the time during this season. We turned it over maybe 3 weeks ago, and it's long course right now, so it'll stay long course for most of the summer. Minus, we do host a camp here towards the end of June, so we'll change it back to short course for that week, and then we'll actually switch it back for a meet the day after. So it's awesome. The pool is great. We do have a weight room as well. It's great. It's on the top left. Sorry, this way. I can't get it. It's the top left. It looks like our pool. They moved it from the building that is now going to be our welcome center on campus. So they moved it over last summer. It was great for us. It went from us having two lifting groups in the morning to one, which is phenomenal. Just more energy, more fun. So that was a good move. So I will get into the questions because, as many of you know, I can ramble, so I will stop rambling. So we had two questions ahead of time. And if you have any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat or send them to Lauren or myself as we go. So if any inspiration strikes, send it our way. So the first question is, what is unique or special about your coaching style that draws swimmers into your program? That's a great question. I'd say in the recruiting process, like, we're pretty transparent about who we are and what we're offering. I think what's unique about myself and Lauren, if you want to hop in, you can. But I think what's unique about myself is I just love swimming. I think it's a whole lot of fun. I think it's really, really hard, but I think you learn a lot from it, whether it be how to manage your time, how to figure out, how to somehow get the same grades as somebody else when doing 20 hours less, studying a week. But I think it teaches you a lot of lessons. So I love the sport because it gives you a lot of challenges and it helps you improve and grow. So as a coach, like, that's been a lot of what we focus on, is trying to help people improve all around. So I think that's pretty unique in our program. I think in terms of coaching style, like, I'm not much of a yeller. I can make my voice louder, but I'm not much of a yeller. It's more like, hey, let's do things really, really well. If we're working on underwater kicks with Sam, like, we're making sure he does 5 well, and if he's not doing it, we'll do it again. And it's not because he's doing it wrong. It's because, like, right. So we don't waste time. Let's be really efficient. So I think our standards are pretty high, but I think that's what you need as you get older. I don't think you can do less work and expect to get faster. I think you have to adjust and try some different stuff, which is where we come in, and we're always looking to try different stuff to help you get faster. But I think it's kind of keeping an open mind. So Lauren, anything you wanna add?
I was gonna say something kind of similar to what you were saying. Like, the nice thing I think about our program is that there is collaboration in there as well. So, like, it's not completely you do whatever you want, but it's also not, this is the way we're doing it, and there's absolutely no deviating. I'm gonna say a lot of the time. I mean, there may come a time that we're saying this is how you're doing it, and this is why. But I mean, if there's things that you find you do in workouts or what have you that are very helpful to you, that way, it's good for us to know. So you can always come to us and say, well, I do really well when I do a lot of racing the day before a meet or whatever it may be. And we're really receptive to things like that. So I don't imagine all programs are that way, but we are. So.
Awesome. Thank you. And then the second question before we hand it off to our kids is, how do you develop swimmers both in talent and in life? I think it kind of gets at what we were already talking about. Like, it's not a one size fits all program. If anything, there's like a million pieces going on, and we find like that's really helpful. So the 4 swimmers we have on, Sam, Noah, Caitlin, and Maddie, like, I can tell you they all train differently. Some of them swim same events, some don't, but everyone has their own game plan. Everything's been a conversation and what's led you to this point in your life and your training. And we try to figure out how to make you better, not just in the pool, but if Sam's failing out of his classes, like, that's what we're going to focus on, because if he's failing out of his classes, like, it doesn't matter how fast he's swimming. We need to figure out, how to get him to be really good academically. So he's set up to swim really well, so that, after the 4 years, it's not like he limped through the academics and he swam really fast. It's, so those are all part of the conversations. I think a big part is honestly, like, just trying to get people out of their shells. College can be a scary time where it's brand new environment, like, trying to figure out who you are. But, we try to get everybody comfortable and really let them just truly be themselves. That's the goal. And we think if they do that, like, we can get the best out of everyone. But if you're acting like someone who you're not, it's just going to be really hard to improve. So I think both in the pool, out of the pool, post college, like, that kind of remains true. I told all the seniors that graduated last Saturday, but we tell them, like, hey, we're your coach for life. We may take more of a cheerleader role, honestly, after you graduate, but anything you need, like, we'll step up to the plate, we'll help you out. And I think the more we know people, the easier that is. So kind of a roundabout answer of we're going to figure out with you like what you need, whether it be life, post college, in college, in the pool, but attack each person individually, not just kind of a broad statement. So, Lauren, anything on that?
Yeah, I guess the only thing I was thinking was essentially approaching swimming as the same way you might approach academics or other things in your life, like be organized, be good with time management, be disciplined, be responsible, just like how you might go into being a part of a team. I think it translates over into life skills. It transfers over into your classes and your major and all that as well. So
Yeah, I think we more plan for things to go wrong than things never go right. You're always going to have that test. You may lose some sleep. I think the skill is learning how to adjust. So when it comes to the like how are we developing people, it's teaching them those skills and then trying to keep people have an open mind. Awesome. Those are the questions we had for the coaches. So like I said, if you have any other questions, like for us specifically, put it in the chat, or send it directly to us. We're going to hand it off to our current swimmers. Like I said, like they're the ones who are living it. They're the ones you're going to spend the most of your time with. So you find their perspectives really, really important. So do you four want to introduce yourselves? How about your year, where you're from in the world, what major you are you're leaning towards, what events you swim, and maybe a fun fact? And we go Caitlin, Sam, Noah, and Maddie, because that's what I have you on my screen as.
Hi, I'm Caitlin. I'm a rising sophomore. I'm from South Jersey, like right outside of Philadelphia. My current intended major is public health on the biology track with a minor in psychology. I swim sprint freestyle and butterfly, and 2 IM occasionally. I guess of fun facts. I've been to every state on the East Coast.
Hi, my name's Sam. I'm a rising junior. Is that it? Yeah. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. I'm a philosophy major and an econ minor. And I mostly just swim freestyle and backstroke. So
Hey guys, what's good? My name is Noah Drexler, and I'm a rising junior here at Franklin Marshall College. I'm a economics and business major, and I'm from Hershey, PA. And the fun fact about me is I really like to golf.
Hi everyone. I'm a rising sophomore. Oh, I'm Maddie, but I'm a rising sophomore. My intended major is public health on the government track with a minor in sociology. I'm from Bethesda, Maryland, which is right outside of DC. I swim sprint freestyle, and a fun fact is I have 2 guinea pigs.
I don't think I knew that. Maybe they can make an appearance. I'm sure my cats are going to wander in at some point here. Cool. We have a list of questions. I'm just going to go down them. If you have other questions, throw them in. We are going to leave time at the end to talk to our student athletes. The coaches will hop off in case you're uncomfortable asking stuff in front of coaches. We will have some time at the end for that. So if you want to save them till then, you can, or if not, you can throw them in the chat and we can ask. But first question's for Caitlin, and it's what does the team do to welcome the first years and help them acclimate to the school and the swimming program?
I would say immediately when I committed kind of late in May of last year. And when I committed immediately, there were a lot of upperclassmen reaching out to me, offering to talk and get me ready for the year. And then once I got on campus, all of the upperclassmen were super welcoming and friendly, offering rides and asking for like to go to lunch and stuff. And then also I would say that the year starts with captain's practices, which is a great way to get acclimated to college swimming. It's kind of practices without the coaches. So you get to really know your teammates and also start seeing what college workouts will look like. I would also say the coaches were extremely flexible with schoolwork and making sure you put school first. If you had like a big exam or something and needed to rearrange like your lift schedule or something, they were very able or willing to help you do that. And I can also speak for the girls team. We do a lot of bonding events practice. So we do team practice, ice cream outings, various things like that. And then we also have fam lines set up, which are like a group of girls from the entire team, like different years. And you kind of have like built-in people to go to in the like older grades. And it's a great way for you to build connections with the older girls like from the start and have a great resource if you ever need anything academics wise or swim wise. So those are just a few things.
Thanks, Caitlin. Sam, the next question's for you. What sets F&M apart from other teams in the conference?
I think a big thing that sets us apart is I feel like we have like a lot of energy and we have a lot of fun at meets. And we can really see that like I feel like compared to other teams, we cheer a lot. We're having a lot of fun. And that's also in practice too. It comes from practice, and I think practice is just like a really good environment where everyone feels comfortable to just do their thing. And it's just really a good environment. Um Also like our men's team was the only men's team in the conference to go national, so that also sets us apart. And yeah, we're just everyone on our team is just very hard workers.
Awesome, thanks. Maddie, Vlad, I see your question. We'll ask it. We'll get it at the end, okay? Maddie, how would you describe the team culture?
Sam and Caitlin kind of already touched on this, but again, I think this does set us apart from the conference is that our team is very close knit, and that was one of the reasons why I chose this school. I Everyone's approachable. You have questions, you want to get lunch, get coffee. I did that a bunch of times with the older girls. Um, well, we have a college center in like the middle of campus. You'll always find a swimmer there, and like there's always like a swim table somewhere because we're everywhere. But yeah, our culture is really close. Like if you have something to talk about, you can go to anyone. If you don't want to go to the coaches, so yeah.
Awesome. Noah, next one's for you. Is it difficult to balance school and swim?
So I feel like I'm involved in a decent amount on school. I'm involved in a few of the business clubs on campus as well as the governments on campus, and I'm also a house advisor as well as a swim. So I'm involved with a lot, and I do feel stretched thin sometimes. But the biggest thing about going to F&M is the coaches are very accommodating. I would go up to Joe and Lauren and be like, "I'm very stressed. Could I move a practice to maybe swim it at 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. and then lift 8 to 9 opposed so I have that whole block of studying?" And the team actually is really academic focused. So usually after dinner, we will go to the library from like 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. just studying and just getting all the work done that we can. So it's not the school itself as well as the F&M swim team do a lot to help accommodate with the academic and athletics. So that's the biggest thing.
Awesome. Thanks, Noah. Noah, what other stuff were you involved in? Can you list them all out? Do you remember them all, I guess?
Yeah, of course. So I'm a house advisor. I'm a part of the Student Athletic Leadership Committee. I'm a part of the Economics Honor Society as well as the Ben Franklin Honor Society. I'm into Mead. I'm the class treasurer, and I'm also in Brooks House Congress, and that's it, I think. But it's just communication. It helps make sure you can do it all. And I'm on the swim team, of course.
Thanks. Yeah. I guess I'll answer Vlad's question because I think it's a good kind of segue in. He said, "How does the team prepare for big competitions?" I think Noah just gave a good example. Like, it isn't a like, hey, we're all going to do the same thing and figure it out. It starts in September. We'll meet with everyone the first few weeks before school starts. When we like to let them get a little acclimated, but in those meetings, we talk about, like, what else do you have going on? Do you have a club? Do you have a job, an internship? We basically just try to figure out, like, how are we going to make it all work and be successful at everything. So really it starts in September with just figuring out, like, what's going to be your game plan. Sam's a good. I just keep picking on Sam because I feel like he's easy to pick on here. Sam swims a lull like 50, 100, 200, 500 free, 100 back, 200 back. So he has 6 events that he's training for. So his week is going to look really different compared to Maddie, who's just going 50, 100, 200 freestyle. She doesn't need that extra little bit. In the second semester when we decided to go the 50 over the 500 second semester, we kept the aerobic piece because that's just what he felt he needed. So in terms of preparation, it's very individualized. And once we get towards the taper time, we literally have a document that has everyone's name on it, and they have their own game plan or what they might need in an individual kind of on a day-to-day basis. So I don't know if I remember any of yours off the top of my head, but each person, it might be, hey, every other day you're doing a broken race or you're going 225s off the block, full speed. But especially when it comes to the big meets, like we're looking at each person and we're trying to figure out like, what's that, if there's something that's going to make you be that much better, like we're going to figure it out. So as the year goes on, like there's more and more sheets of paper on my clipboard because it's like just these little notes about what each person needs. So it just depends, I guess, is the answer. We think that makes a big difference. So I guess as a general thing, one thing we tried this year that we've heard really good feedback on that we didn't do last year is we just raced every day. We warmed up and then we hopped up and it was a random race to them. We had a game plan, but we would just go off the blocks, just remember what it's like to go fast. So just to try to put us in an environment where it's like, hey, you might not be 100%, but like try to go really fast. So when it came to the conference meet, it's like, okay, there's a few more people, a few more lights, but people were comfortable just getting up and racing. So that was something we all did that I think we benefited from. Yeah, and then obviously like yardages and taper and all, that's a part of that as well. So the yards will go up and down, but just dependent on the person. I'm going to skip over the one question. We'll hit it at the end, okay? I did send the questions out to our kids beforehand. What is one thing that sealed the deal for you and made you choose F&M? Maddie and Caitlin, I chose you because you made it most recently. So
I can go first. I would say that like going into the college process, I wasn't sure if I was going to swim or not because I really wanted the balance of academics and swimming. And I would say F&M definitely provides that. It's a great school academically, but it's also a great swim team. I mean, we have a beautiful facility. It's a great campus. There's so much to do in Lancaster. And I just really appreciated how the coaches were very interested in me and really cared about like me having a spot at F&M. So I would say definitely Coach Joe's enthusiasm, and also I met Maddie on deck at my recruiting visit, and that kind of sold the deal for me. So.
Kind of to go off what Caitlin just said, again, the coaches were a big role in my decision. And then also one of the things that Joe said to me during my recruiting process was that like we're D3, right? We're at school for the academics. Like academics come first, and the amount of opportunities that Franklin and Marshall offers for their students, like not even their alum, and not even like your upperclassmen, juniors and seniors who are getting ready to like leave school. I learned a lot about like all the opportunities, like networking opportunities, like your resume building, all of that stuff. And that I think was a really huge part in my decision, as well as just like the overall like amazing academics, like their majors, what they had to offer, and then as well as the really close, like tight-knit swim team.
Awesome. Noah, do you feel supported by the school and professors as a student athlete?
Oh yes, definitely. The biggest thing about F&M is they have very small class sizes. It's rare to get a class over 18 students, so that helps you foster this very tight-knit community with your professors. So I definitely felt supported. If I was ever having a problem, I would go up to them. And for example, we had, I think it was an away meet this year. It was over one of my classes, and I just asked the professor, can I Zoom in, and she was like very accommodating. She was like, "Yeah, you can hop on a Zoom and just do the class on the bus." So that was awesome. I didn't miss the class. Even if I did, she said, our professors have said in the past, just come to my office hours. We can talk. It's no big deal. So that is the biggest thing. The school and the professors definitely support me, and it's one of my favorite reasons that I'm at F&M.
Awesome. Thanks. I don't think I knew that, Noah. That's awesome. I'm guessing Gettysburg. Because Gettysburg was on a Friday, but we can talk about that.
I think it was, yeah.
We don't miss a lot of class. Gettysburg likes to swim our dual meet. They like Fridays, so we did that on a Friday. Our conference is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's in the second semester. So Thursday and Friday, you miss 2 days in the second semester. And then our invite that we host right before Thanksgiving is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So you're talking for Gettysburg, half a day of class, and then for the invite, 1 day of class, first semester, and second semester, 2 days. So unless you go to NCAA, Sam had to miss a week of school, but they were pretty accommodating, I thought. But what are the best parts about F&M as a whole, and is there anything you would like to change about F&M? And I didn't assign this to anyone, so is anyone feeling like they want to tackle it, or I can just pick someone at random?
Can I tackle this first?
Yeah.
So I'm a tour guide. Sorry, I had to bring that up. So I'm a tour guide, and I actually get asked the question a lot, like, what's like the worst part? Like, what would you change about F&M? I'll go with this first. But they tell us not to lie, and we don't. Registration, like class registration, like leading up to it, is so hard. Just because it's like at 11 o'clock at night and you have to sit at your computer, like getting ready to like type in all your codes. But like leading up to registration is like a super well thought out process. Like the professors always most of them make extra office hours. Like if you have questions about future classes, like classes you need to take, if you're majoring, or if you're planning on like minoring or like getting a certificate, whatnot. But like, yeah, so like registration. And then what was this first part? Sorry.
What are the best parts of F&M as a whole?
I think the people. I think I chose this school obviously for the academics, but also like the swim team as well as the school in like general. Like it's a small school, so everyone knows everyone, but like in a good way. So like you'll see like the same faces every day, but you like start to become like friends with those people, and like the people in your classes you'll see on campus, like at Blue Line, stuff like that. So
Awesome. Caitlin, Sam, Noah, anyone want to take a stab at it?
Yeah, I would say like for me personally, sorry, Sam. Like I knew when I went to school that I wanted small classes and just to have that high school atmosphere, like connection with your professors and everything like that. And I would say F&M definitely provides that. All of the professors are super accessible, and you're never gonna have like a teacher's assistant teaching the class. It's always a professor. And I would say like the negative thing, I would also agree with Maddie with the registration and like room selection. But at the end of the day, like everything for me has worked out both times I've registered, and you just have to like get on the professors and ask if you can have a spot, and it usually all works out. But it is stressful.
One thing I really like personally is just like the location of the school. There's a lot to do in the area. We have like a really big downtown area that's like 5-minute drive or like a 20-minute walk. Any activity you want is probably within like 30 minutes. Any like food is within 30 minutes. I know they have like I think it's like the biggest rec center in America. It's like 15 minutes from campus. And I actually went with Coach Joe and a few other kids to the biggest buffet in America, which was like 40 minutes, I think. But that's just like 2 examples. There's a lot more to do in the area.
We have to go for breakfast still. We missed the breakfast train there. But Caitlin, do you want to talk about the housing? Because that was a question we got, was how are dorm accommodations done? Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry if that's a sensitive topic, but
No, it's fine. I can talk about that. So housing F&M, all of the freshman year roommates are random, which I appreciated because you didn't have to go through the stress of actually like finding someone on Instagram to room with and all of that. But my random roommate worked out fine. We got along well. So freshman year, it's all dorm style living. There's very rare occasions where you'd get put in a suite, but overall, it's just two-person to a room. And I would say like all of the houses have their own like government, so it's a little bit like Harry Potter. But all of the houses are pretty like close knit. Like you see people in your houses and you say hi. Like you kind of know everybody, and I really liked that. You kind of have an extra community right off the bat. And then your sophomore year, you again have to live on campus, and there are suite style housing available at that point. But you're either going to be in a two-person dorm or a suite. And then when you're a junior and senior, you can live off campus. There's really nice apartments, like right off campus that are perfect. And then there's the lofts, which are more like where typically the guys will live there. But um, that's basically the housing arrangements.
Awesome, thank you. I did have one question that I'll answer, and then we'll leave the student athletes with y'all. Laura and I will duck out, but we had a question of what is your plans for official visits and recruiting going forward. I think it's very individualized. I think the big part of the process is trying to figure out what are your priorities in the search. I think the two biggest things, like with our program, is like your number one priority is academics. Your number two is swimming. You can have a 3 and 4. Noah's a great example. Like he's an HA. Like we make that work. He's in a couple clubs. We make that work. Like you can have a third and fourth priority, and I think you can have a really good experience. I think if you think, being in a club is going to be number one, and playing ultimate frisbee is number 2, and then swimming's 3, and academics is 4. Like I think you're going to get into some trouble, just kind of given the high level we're trying to achieve in the classroom and the pool. So, but I think a big part of the search is trying to figure out what you like. That's a big part of it. On the swimming side, like we want people who are trying to be really good, who are trying to make themselves better. On the team side, they're really close. We want people who are going to make the people around them better too. If one person's really fast, but they're an awful teammate, like that comes into account. Like that's not the people we want to surround ourselves with. So, as you go through the process, like our best recommendation is like try to figure out what you really want. I can tell you, like in my swimming search, I had no idea what I was looking for. I found a team where I loved the people, and that was the deciding factor. It's just how much I liked my teammates, and was fortunate enough to, that was the case. When I got on campus, and there are people that I text literally every single day. We talk still. There were people at my wedding who were in my wedding party. They're the ones I share my life with. So, I think with what kind of program that we're trying to build, like those are priorities that we hold high. But in the process, like you're trying to figure that stuff out. And there's no clear cut answer, but it's good to start thinking through like what's really important to you in your life. Like there's no wrong answers. It's just trying to be honest with yourself. So in terms of the recruiting going forward, like that's a big part we're going to push as you finish up your junior year, is trying to play through those priorities in your head. And then like where do we fit in? Like are we a top 3? Are we a top 10? Are we not on the list? Like that's okay. Like try to figure that out. If we're in a top 3 and we think you're going to be a swimming fit, we're going to figure out if you're an academic fit. And then we go from there. I think a big part of it come your senior year is to figure out, is the team a good fit? So we'll do overnight visits. We'll do day visits. We'll kind of make that work. We'll connect you with team members. One of the teams on campus does virtual tours. So I guess team members like walk around with the phone and kind of tour people if we can't get on campus. We'll be adding that this year because I thought that was a cool idea. But we do kind of any and everything because I think our goal is to show off the school. And if you like us, awesome. If not, like, hey, that's okay. It's not for everybody. But that's what we're trying to provide to you is that information. So we are going to have some official visits this year, September 20th through the 21st. That's a Friday and Saturday. And then the following weekend, September 27th to the 28th. there'll probably be smaller groups, but we'll have those as options. And then we'll also just have day visits as well if you can't miss that much school or it just doesn't make sense to, stay over and leave early. So those would be for people who are kind of in our top 15 to 20 on each side, and that we've pre-read, the academics are good as we move forward. So that was a question I got. Any other questions for the coaches? We'll hop off for a little bit. I'm going to stop the recording because obviously if you're sharing stuff with the team members, I don't need a recording of that.